the UK is accelerating its electric vehicle infrastructure, a massive task, as I'll tell you in a second, with Slough and Herefordshire kind of spearheading it. Basically, the installation of curbside chargers, not rapid chargers, just 3 or 7 kilowatt chargers on the curbs. So what does this mean for EV adoption in the UK and the future of urban mobility, since 28% of all new vehicles sold in the UK this year are electric vehicles? Hey folks, Ben Alexander here. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we're exploring the jumps being made by the councils in the UK, basically. EV infrastructure, a massive deal, focusing on the rollout of curbside chargers in Slough and Herefordshire. So let's delve straight into that. Obviously, one interesting thing to think about is how to stop people cutting the cables on the street, because it is happening all over. Rapid chargers in the UK, for example, loads of them being cut. And that's a big issue. Please take a minute to just write something in the comments when you've got a second at the end to just say some stuff, because I think kind of we're all in the same boat here. We don't want that to happen. What does everybody else think about it? It's a really interesting topic. The other places in the world are having this issue. Australia, for example, and also some places I know in Europe, that's also happening. So Slough's got a really ambitious plan. Basically, they've just secured a £2.23 million grant, basically, from the Department of Transport's local electric vehicle infrastructure, otherwise known as the Levy Capital Fund. The funding aims to install at least 1,600 on-street curbside charging points in the area, focusing on residential areas lacking off-street parking, such as terraced housing, which is a big deal in the UK, obviously. Lots of terraced housing. That makes it about £1,400 each when you divide, obviously, 2.23 million by 1,600 electric vehicle chargers. So they will start the installation this year, at the end of the year, in the last quarter, and I'm pretty sure it's going to take years to install all of those ones. That's just 1,600 of them. And obviously, I'll get to some numbers at the end to just give you some context here, because 1,600 is basically nothing. Herefordshire Council, in collaboration with a company called Wenea, is introducing its first batch of on-street charging this year. 5 locations have been proposed. I'll put them on the screen now for you. These are all going to be 7 kilowatt chargers. That's fine. I think that's, for most people, that's okay. This is a part of the Levy pilot project as well, aiming to make EV charging more accessible and support the county's net zero carbon emissions goal by 2030. I don't think really anybody believes that a county in the UK, for example, or truly anyway, or the country of the UK will become net zero by 2030, 2035. I don't think anyone is going to fall for that. These goals are just some goals to encourage us to go in the right direction, but obviously it's a long way off. Even 2035, obviously, optimistic. I think we'd all agree. If you don't agree, put it in the comments and explain why. These initiatives in Slough and Herefordshire represent a big, significant step towards making EV ownership more practical, appealing, viable, reasonable, especially for residents that just don't have a really expensive house with a big driveway in the south of England, for example. By focusing on residential areas and collaborating with private partners like Wenea, these councils are trying to address the infrastructure gaps and promoting sustainable transportation. They also have spent a lot of money, for example, on pushing for electric bikes, for example. A really great thing in the UK. I really reckon the UK should have more electric bikes in it. The expansion of curbside EV charging infrastructure in the UK is a big development for current and prospective EV owners. It demonstrates a commitment to sustainable mobility and addresses one of the key barriers for EV adoption. For example, where my mum lives, that would be a significant thing. So what are your thoughts on these developments? Please do take a minute to let me know, because out of all the videos I make, this is one of the topics that I just think we all kind of want to read the comments on this one. It's a really fascinating thing. For example, in London, obviously loads of crime in London, but loads of people as well, loads of electric cars. There has been for years. And I don't remember actually reading too many stories of people having the cables cut on electric car charging in London, but now I'm hearing it all the time. Maybe thieves have just, maybe thieves are a bit slow and they've just realised there's lots of copper in these cables and they should cut them. Bit risky to do it, obviously, but that's what they are doing. Some interesting numbers for you. 30 to 40% of the UK homes lack off-street parking. There are about 33 million registered vehicles on the road in the UK, so that makes it about 11 million vehicles in the UK that will need to be charged very, very roughly. Obviously, there are pockets of cars here and there in the UK, in, for example, personal collections or second cars or rare vintage cars or cars in sales yards. So yeah, you see what I mean. It's a monstrous task, even if you just half that figure. So not 11 million, 6 million, and 6 million vehicles would, in like say 20, 30 years time, would need to be charged somehow. And this is a big deal, a big cost, very laborious to install 1,600 chargers. So one way to deal with this is simply to make driving more expensive, so there are less cars on the road, which is what people fear, I think, but there are more cars on the roads now per 1,000 people in the country than ever before, which is a really interesting thing. I did some research on this a couple of months ago. What are your thoughts on curbside charging and this part of the transitional story? It is an interesting thing. Can you see issues where you live? Please let me know where you live as well, or start the comment with where you live. Please feel free to say anything you like, because this is a very interesting topic. There should be no restrictions on what you can say in the comments. A lot of comments do get held automatically for some reason, and I have to keep, making them approved. A very interesting topic. Thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. This is the BK16 by a company called Hitway. So it's just a brief review of a bike that I reviewed when I was in England. So you know that I live in a few different countries, so I'm not always there. I spoke with a really nice person called Lenny at Hitway, and basically they sent me out this bike to review it. I'll give you the basic specs, and I was basically just blown away. That's why I'm doing this review. So some basic specs for it. It's 29 kilos, which is lighter than you might imagine. 250 watt motor, 60 newton meters of torque. It's a planetary gear motor, so it's a pretty standard motor, but it's a really good quality one. 48 volt battery with 18 amp hours in it, or 860 watt hours if you're like me and you prefer watt hours. And it genuinely can go 45 miles if you're pedaling, or about 70 kilometers. So that's not a BS figure, that's the genuine figure, and I'm about 94.5 kilos at the minute. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to include this in the video is because it actually just deserves to be mentioned. A really good product. And there's other companies that, if they're really good companies and they sell really good products, I mention them, such as All Powers, for example, or Engway. They make really good products. Some other products I don't mention, but only the good ones, really. And yeah, so a main couple of standout points for me are that the first place it went on was a really, really steep hill, and it literally just lunged up the hill, and I just thought that is super cool, really, really impressive. It's meant to be 250 watt motor. It probably is, but it just felt super quick, really powerful. I'm obviously 90 something kilos, and it didn't seem to care. It just jumped up the hill. I thought it was going to be a little bit sluggish or a little bit laggy or slow or just cumbersome, but it just went as if, it is just amazing. It's really great. If that's what 250 watts is on a Hitway bike, you definitely don't need any more ever. That's just perfect. And also the screen on the front, that just felt quite posh. I really, really liked that. The suspension and tires, insanely comfy. I would say that it's comparable to like a Jaguar from the 90s in the car world. I would say that it's just, for some reason, they've made it really, really comfy. It irons out so many bumps. I really like that. And yeah, it's about £870 to £950 brand new, depending on where you buy it. It is worth considering if you're thinking about a bike, and I just wanted you to know about it, because based on the fact that I was blown away with it, it's a reasonable price, seems to be really nice, and I thought, summer is coming in the UK, for example. It's worth just knowing about this. It is definitely a good spend of £800, £900. And yeah, if I could change a couple of things, I would say I would prefer it to have aluminium cast wheels, which basically almost no bike on the market does have those, but that's always my preference because you don't have to play with spokes. And I would like to adjust the handlebars, which you can actually buy a little thing on Amazon for about 10 or 15 pounds, and you can just literally raise it up, and then that actually makes it perfect. Yeah, so it's really, really nice. Planetary gear motor inside simply means you can ride it for a very long time, quite a few years, and then you should open it up and put some new grease into the motor, basically. But yeah, that's pretty standard these days. People ride them 10, 20,000 miles between services, so it's pretty good. Thank you for watching.